What is up, my arch fiends of chaos? This is none other than King of the Night 57! It's about to be X-Turk. And we're here to talk about the philosophy of one of my favorite Final Fantasy 15 characters, Ravus Nox Fluret, son of Tenebrae. Actually, pretty much in King of Tenebrae, technically. Technically, because his mom, the queen, died. But anyways, Ravus's philosophy started in King's Glaive when he joined the Niflheim Empire, which you can't blame him for joining the Niflheim Empire because his mom got killed and Regis abandoned him with trying to save his son, which obviously that's going to be a natural instinct to save your son. So, that's going to actually, that actually makes sense why he blames Regis for abandoning him, which caused him to hate the Lucius kind of lineage, and also he thought he was worthy of the ring, which we find on King's Glaive he really isn't. But you would understand his frustration and everything he was trying to attempt. Even later on when he's trying to hand the sword to Noctis, but he thought Noctis was not actually worthy of actually having the ring, but that's down the line. Now, Ravus was not only was his mom destroyed, but Niflheim took him and kidnapped him and watched over him and forcefully made him into the High Commander of Niflheim. So he was actually forcefully raised by Idolus, which Idolus brainwashed Ravus further down the line, making him still blame and hate the Lucius Kylian lineage for what happened to him. So once you get to the Final Fantasy 15 game, you see Ravus again challenging Noctis and embarrassing Gladiolus. As you see what happens. Of course, before that, Chapter 3, he gets the order to kill his sister. Of course, Ravus is not liking it. And this is where Ravus is thinking about betraying the Niflheim Empire. And then you see it again after he beats Gladiolus, and you see the way Ravus looks at Arden. And then let's go straight to Alticia. Lunafreya's life is in danger, so now he has to change his ideology, and Ignis helps him change his ideology. Not only beats the crap out of Ravus because Ravus, thought Noctis was draining the rest of her life when Lunafreya chose to give the rest of her life to Noctis. Which, that battle happened the way it did. Ignis beat Ravus, and Ravus came to his senses. Now, Ravus is actually on the good guys' team, which is why I think he's the best rival character out of any Final Fantasy game. Because his backstory, he had more character development than even the core characters in the game. This is where he betrays Niflheim, and this is where, after he helped challenge Arden with Ignis, he goes straight to Grallia, challenge Idolus Aldercrap, and challenges rule. And pisses off Aldercrap, but that's still good because that shows how brave he is. He's finally ready to stand up to the man who's brainwashed him and pretty much cuss his ass out. So, with all that, Ravus challenges Idolus. Of course, unfortunately, Ravus dies because he was distracted by the pyromancers. Now Arden comes and cuts off his arm and it looks like he kills him. Of course, Arden throws some suicide notes because Arden's fucked up like that. But even when Ravus was turned to a demon at the end of the game, he still wanted to kill Arden. In fact, his chant was to kill Arden, so he was smart enough to know how much he hated Arden, but he had no choice but to fight because Arden was in control of his body. But nonetheless, Ravus tops as my favorite rival character in Final Fantasy 15 and Final Fantasy games in general, because unlike the other rival characters like Cypher, like you compare him to Cypher, Cypher was a bitch made. Cypher just didn't like losing. Ravus had legitimate reasons to be what he was. You know, his mom got taken away, his sister got taken away, he was taken away from his family and forced to lead the army of Niflheim. He thought he was the chosen one because of the blood of the Oracle. He had a lot going on. The dude got a lot going on. And I think after losing his sister, he finally developed as a character, so he became an ally and tried to help Noctis. And in other timeline, he actually helps Noctis's friends, so the bros. He becomes a Chocobro in the alternate timeline where Ignis fights Arden. So they probably take out Idolus altogether and then go fight Ignis. And then you see Ravus give the sword to Noctis to finish it off. But nonetheless, Ravus actually the best character ever. It's his character that made him what he is in the game, and why I respect Ravus Nox Fluret. So that's why Ravus Nox Fluret is my favorite rival character in any Final Fantasy game. May the crystal be with you.
You know something about Dr. Lucretia's experiments. This is the beginning of Genesis Revelation. This is not only the battle beneath the earth.